Shalom, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. This is the brother Yakanan from the GMS Houston Church, and just coming at you with a quick lesson, really just uh, going through how the elect are going to feel in these last days, or the hopeful elect are going to feel in these last days. And hey, you're gonna be I'll just go ahead and just get right into it. This is Daniel chapter 7, and I'll start at verse 24. And this is going into that fourth kingdom, the fourth kingdom being the Roman Empire, and what sprang up out of the fourth kingdom. So Daniel 7 and 24, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and shall subdue 3 kings. And this is that one that sprang up that's diverse is America, and those 3 kings that were here, like it says, if you read, I believe if you read higher up, it says that there's 3 horns were plucked up. This kingdom, or democracy, whatever you want to call it, sprang up from these 3 colonies, or from the English, from the British colonies. But here in America, there were 3, major, major kingdoms here. You had the Spanish, the French, and the British that were here, that were colonizing the land, which is why you see, certain areas, you'll have certain areas like California, here in Texas, you'll have Spanish, names of towns and whatnot, and then more up north, still in the South, like Louisiana and whatnot, it'll be French, and then as you go further north, it'll be, English, colonized names. But continuing on, Daniel 7 and 25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High. And this is that this they have a phrase called global arrogance. This man is a proud man. He doesn't keep at home. He speaks against the Most High. He says that he's a God. He's above God. He's above the people of God. He's speaking proudly constantly. You can see where benefits and things are being cut off, and they're building banquet halls and doing all kinds of things like that. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. The saints are the Israelites. As a matter of fact, let me get that. No, I want to keep that. That's Psalm. No, there's 2. I want to say it's 48. All right. Psalms 148 and verse 14. He exalteth the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him. Praise ye Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So the children of Israel are the saints. There's another one. I can't remember exactly. Psalms 50 and verse 15. Psalms 50 and verse 5. Gather my saints together. Just went over that. The Israelites together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. And this is the Israelites. We made a covenant with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Our forefathers did by sacrifice. Let's get that too. Exodus 24 and verse 3. And Moses came and told the people all the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and all the judgments, and all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai have said will we do. And Moses wrote all the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and rose up early in the morning and builded an altar under the hill and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So this is who made a covenant with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai by sacrifice. The Israelites, the saints. And saint, I'll even go back and look at that word saint, because it means to be separate, to be holy. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people. And they said, all that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai have said will we do, and be obedient. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people, and said, behold the blood of the covenant, which Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai have made with you concerning these words. So this is only for the Israelites. So let me go back and get that. Well, this is right here anyway. This is H2623 Chasayad. This is to be pious, faithful, kind, godly, holy one. But to be holy means to be separate. So let's look at it. Is that the same word? Yeah. Let's look at that word. Deuteronomy 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people. Let's look at that word for holy. H6918. Kwa dawash, or kwa dawasha, but kwa dawash says sacred, holy, saint, set apart. So we're a separate people. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, thy power. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, thy power, have chosen thee. Chosen, let's look at that word. H977. Bachar says to choose, to elect, to be chosen. So out of all the nations of the earth, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai has chosen the Israelites to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So out of the Israelites, starting with the 144,000 and the rest of the elect, those are the chosen, the Bachayar of the Bachayar, or Bachar. What did I say? It's like Bachar. I say that in one of my prayers, Bacharyim. I'm praying for the elect, but anyway, that's besides the point. So the Israelites are a chosen holy people, chosen to be separate. So we're really, not meant to be partakers with the things of this world. We're supposed to be above these people. We're supposed to be ruling over these people. But in these times, we're in, matter of fact, oh yeah, I was saving that. I'm going to come back to this, Lord willing. No, I'm going to come back to it. But let me see here. Servants on horses. This is Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 7. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. So here, the order is backwards. Here the servants, the other nations that are meant to serve us, are ruling over us, and we're at the bottom. Go into the curses, Deuteronomy 28. They shall be the head, and you shall be the tail. So when you come into this knowledge, this truth, You learn that. You understand that why this is taking place, how these things are taking place. You're at the bottom. You're going to be at the bottom. You're going to be ruled over. You're going to be subject to payments. You're going to be constantly harassed. Matter of fact, I was still on that. My bad. This is Daniel 7:25. And he spake great word, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and dividing of time. And that's 350 years. You look at when we got here, 1619 to 1969. In 1969, Abba Bivens came on the scene, started preaching this word. Who, if you can receive it, this was John the Baptist. This was Elias. This is him coming back to usher in the coming of our Lord Yahushua, signifying it, heralding it. So, and this devil has changed times. Just right now, you're seeing what they do, the fall back or spring forward, whatever it is. Changing the calendars, doing whatever he wants to do, changing the laws. A woman can divorce her husband, take all his things. Moes can get together. You can do whatever you want. This is this devil ruling. Let me get this word for wear out the saints. And this is H1080, says Ba La'ah. It says corresponding to H1086. Let's look at that word real quick. I'll come back to this. Bala says to wear out, to become old. So we're being worn out here, but this is used in the mental sense, because you're also worn out physically here through your jobs, whatever you do, but you're also worn out here mentally. And it says to harass constantly. So you're constantly being harassed. So you're constantly being annoyed, constantly being agitated by people around you, the things that you see, the things that you hear, constantly having to deal with, the different kinds of annoying situations, whatever it may be. You're going to be constantly agitated here if you're in the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. You're going to be looking for it, asking the Lord, when is this going to end? When are you going to send your son? But we know, through prophecy, the wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places, seeing these things ramp up, World War III out there. The U.S. talking about sending troops to Venezuela, to Nigeria, to wherever else. Hey man, if you can't see that we're in the end, then hey, I don't know what to tell you. But that gives you some hope, knowing that, hey, look, you're wondering how long this is going to end, or how long this is going to last, but then seeing the signs of the end. Like, okay, we're at the end. Like, we really got to wait for World War III, Jacob's Trouble, which we're in. The MOTB, that micro CHIP to be implemented, to be made mandatory, to where you can't work, you can't survive, you can't buy anything. Then it just gets more exciting. But this is Psalms chapter 6 and verse 3. And I'll get it in first the KJV. This is the King James, Psalms 6 and verse 3. It says, my soul is sore vexed, but thou, O Lord, how long? How long is this going to go on? How long is this going to last? How long? Like, here this bitch already pulling up. But how long is this going to go on? How long? Like, please, Lord. This is the NLT. I am sick at heart. Constantly being harassed and dealing with different, mental sicknesses, whatever they may be. Having to deal with people around you, having to deal with the spiritual realm, demons around you all the time, harassing you. I'm sick at heart. How long, O Lord, O Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, until you restore me? Because we're looking to be restored to our former estate, the the first bodies that we're in. We're gonna be like Yahushua. He's restored to his former estate. He's got a spiritual, supernatural body. We're looking to be like him, that can never die. So let me see if there's one more. The Amplified, my soul as well as my body. You got different aches, pains, back problems, neck problems, stuff all on your shoulders, your feet cramping up. Your heels hurt. Trying to wear freaking arch support shoes. Hey, how my soul as well as my body is greatly dismayed. But as for you, O Lord, how long until you act on my behalf? Because we're waiting. But if we ask how long, you get agitated, but hey, you have to suffer this. You gotta ride it out. Just gotta thug it out, That's why you have, brothers to talk to, these lessons to put up, prayers, little things, learning the ancient ways, whether it be making some jewelry, whatever it may be, you got some outlets in righteousness. But this is Baruch chapter 4, and I'll start with verse 24. Well, let me see here. I'll start at verse 23. For I sent you out with mourning and weeping, because we broke the commandments. We completely transgressed against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. But we have a second chance through Yahushua. We have a chance to get right. We have grace and mercy right now. For I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but the Most High will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. And this is speaking of the land. We're going to return home. Like as now, the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity. There is not any nation that has not had a part of our captivity. They've all had a part of us. So shall they see shortly your salvation from our power, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting. So just like all the nations, they seen us in this dead state, in a spiritually dead state. They had us in captivity. They did whatever they wanted with us. We built their kingdoms. We nursed their children. We slaved away in their warehouses, whatever we were doing. They all seen our captivity. They all seen us in these low estates, seen us being entertainers, seen us being jesters and clowns for them. So they're going to see our us going up into them chariots. They're going to see us being rescued by the Son of the Heavenly Father. A glorious rescue. Not a declaration. Verse 25, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from your power. Because this devil, Esau Edom, ruling over us, constantly harassing us, wearing us out. This is part of our punishment. This is part of the punishment of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, going into slavery, being beaten, murdered, lynched. That's all part of the punishment of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you. And in these times, you see that spirit rising up on Esau Edom again? How long before they do public lynchings? How long before you start seeing, that stuff on streaming platforms? My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. For thine enemy hath persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck. So suffer patiently, because soon, this is going to be flipped around. The roles are going to be reversed. And we want to see the destruction of Babylon. The scriptures describe it, but suffering patiently. And that's what came to mind. Suffer this patiently, because you get so vexed that you want to see this stuff go down now, but hey, you really haven't suffered. Speaking for myself, yeah, you got a little, scratches and bumps here and there, but you really haven't suffered. You haven't suffered like Yahushua has suffered. This is Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1, and this is an NLT. And I like that, that subheading says, the Most High's discipline proves his love. So, hey, we're just being chastised, we're being disciplined. This is from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Just suffer it. Hey, these other nations, they ain't suffering like that. The 2/3, they're getting beat the fuck up, and they have no idea what the fuck is going on. At least you had the knowledge of what you're going through. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down. So everything, hey, look, worried about this life, this, that, whatever, hey, that shit slows you down. That shit, it don't help. It don't have no benefit. Especially the sin that so easily trips us up. And let us run with endurance. That's to go without breaking, to come to the point of breaking and not breaking. Patience. The race Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai has set before us, because this is a race. We're trying to last to the end. We're trying to get a crown. We're trying to win. We do this by keeping our eyes on Yahushai, the champion who initiates and perfects our faith. So we look at Yahushua, his example he set forth. He was like a lamb, dumb. He didn't say a word. He didn't bite back or try to fight back, nothing like that, even though he could. He didn't say, you know who I am? We do this by keeping our eyes on Yahushua, the champion who initiates and perfects our faith. And what happened? Hey, he prayed. He prayed so hard he was sweating blood. He was beaten by the high priest's, guards. Transferred to another, to some Romans. Beaten again. Skin cut open. It said he was more marred than any man. Suffered the agony of being crucified. Had to suffer that for hours. Can't breathe. Being stabbed in the ribs. Being mocked. But he rose from the dead. He came back. He is now perfected. And he's waiting to come back. Because of the joy awaiting him, he endured the cross, disregarding its shame. Now he is seated in the place of honor beside Yahweh's throne. So he's in a place of honor. We're waiting for him to return, to bring us up along with him. Think of all the hostility he endured from sinful people. Then you won't become weary and give up. So think of all that hostility from his own people. From his own people. And then also fucking heathen. But most of all, your own people. The people that you came to save. And this was the point. Verse 4, after all, You have not yet given your lives in your struggle against sin. Matter of fact, I kind of liked it better in the KJV, that point. But and we haven't, like I said, I haven't really gone through anything yet. Yeah, I got a few scratches. That's it. I haven't shed blood. Yahweh Shai already went through all that. But looking at him, through his power, Lord willing, I can handle it. After all, you have not yet given your lives in your struggle against sin. So, guess what? You're going to have to give up your life. Yeah, I've given up everything, whatever, but giving up my physical life, I know I'll get a new one. I know I live through Yahweh Shai. I'll get a new body. This body ain't even going to the chariots. And I'm going to get that real quick. Just, ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin. That was the point. Just, I ain't been beaten. I ain't been tortured. I ain't been cut open. I ain't been shot, been stoned, been executed, had my head cut off. Where was that? Revelation 6. There we go. I'll start at verse 9. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and for the testimony which they held. So, hey, we're prepare to die. Because this happened back then. You had the men, the believers of Yahweh Shai that were slain for their testimony they had of him. Prepare the same thing in these days. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, and these are those that were already slain. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? So those souls that are in heaven we got the same spirit in the same thing. How long? How long is this gonna? How long before you bring the judgment? How long before you avenge us? But we know it's soon. And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. So it's got a number to fill, but it's just that more got to suffer. Hey, our brethren, we got to suffer. Those that were slain before us, hey, it's just to a measure. Hey, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai doesn't do anything until that number is fulfilled, until that measure is fulfilled, I should say. So hey, suffer it patiently, because this is what's coming. Revelation 1 and verse 7, behold, he cometh with clouds. This is Yahushai, and this is soon. He cometh with the clouds being the chariots, what the world calls UAPs or UFOs. And every eye shall see him. Everyone's going to know that's Yahushai, because the men of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai have been out here telling you, starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, have been telling you who this is, what's coming, what's getting ready to take place, and who those names are. Yahweh wa Yahushai. Who is doing this? And every eye shall see him. Everybody's going to see this. And they also which pierced him, even those that pierced Yahushai, they're here today showing you about reincarnation. And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, amen. Shoot, I've lost track of time. Shit, I don't even care. It's a lot here. I'm over here getting ready to be late for work. But hey, Yahushai is coming, and everybody's going to see this. Everybody's going to see Yahushai coming in that chariot. This is Isaiah chapter 63. And this is, I'm going to try to get straight to the point because this is Yahushua coming. He's going to do a lot of killing. And this here chapter is focused on Basra, which is the capital of Edom. Esau, talking about he's coming to get Esau. But he's going to do a whole lot more killing than that. Read 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. But, hey, I'm just going to get straight to the point. This is Isaiah 63 and verse 4. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And this is Yahushua. Hey, he's coming to do a lot of killing. He's coming to avenge his people. You know, this day's been burning for over 2,000 years. So, hey, Lord willing, this has been edifying. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kachodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. Shalom.